On Global TV News Express, President Tinubu swears in 7 new ministers. Finance Minister Wale Edun says Nigeria's economy on new investment threshold. And the first in Spain rescuers search on the ground parking as fresh flooding hits Barcelona. On a spot, Ministerial Committee recommends compensation for favor of indicts top officials of the Athletics Federation of Nigeria. Hello and welcome to all of you in Nigeria and around the world to News Express here on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Edika Michael. A quick reminder that we are on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nicomsat. President Bola Tinubu has officially sworn in the 7 newly appointed ministers recently confirmed by the Senate after screening in a ceremony held at the Council Chamber of Aso Rock Villa. The swearing follows the dismissal of 5 previous ministers by President Tinubu about 2 weeks ago, after which he nominated these new officials to fill the vacancies and expand his cabinet. The newly appointed ministers are Dr. Netawe, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Muhammadu Bagari, the Minister of Labour and Employment, and Bianca Ojukwu as Minister of State Foreign Affairs, Dr. Jumoke Oduwele as the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, the Minister of Livestock, Adil Mokhtar, and Yusuf Abdullah Yatta as the Minister of State Housing and Urban Development. The new ministers are expected to immediately begin their roles and contribute to the administration's goals in their respective areas. President Tinubu has reminded the newly sworn-in ministers that they will be abused and criticized, but asked them to remain focused and not distracted. The president made the call while swearing in the 7 new ministers at the presidential villa, Abuja, saying that his administration has stopped scavengers of the nation's resources and will completely do the same thing to profiteers and smugglers across the country. He said it was obvious of the fact that cost of living has gone up, adding that the present situation calls for a very serious commitment, adding that his administration would not run away from the challenges and responsibilities, just as he assured that he will face them headlong. The Office of Accountant General of the Federation has confirmed the activation of the Integrated Personnel and Payroll Information System, IPPIS, for federal tertiary institutions. This follows the federal government decision to remove these institutions from the IPPIS platform. Director of Press and Public Relations at the Office of the Accountants General of the Federation, Bawa Mokwa, started these, adding that November salaries for FTIs would be processed through the Government Integrated Financial Management Information System. Institutions are required to prepare their payrolls in Excel format and submit them to IPPIS for verification and validation. The House of Representatives Committee on Renewable Energy has said that it will investigate the usage of the $2 billion renewable energy grant to the country. The chairman committee, Victor Afam, in a statement issued in Abuja, said that the public hearing scheduled for November 5th and 6th will cover the period from 2015 to 2024. Alleged that investment meant for the development of the renewable energy sector in Nigeria had not made a commensurate impact on the country's energy security challenges, adding that the MDAs will, with dealings in the investment, procurement and receipt of grants for the development of the energy sector will be investigated. Meanwhile, the Senate, in a bid to establish a safer and more profitable mining sector, has vowed to eliminate illegal mining activities that have been depriving the federal government of significant revenue and contributing to food and physical insecurity across the country. The chairman of the Senate Committee on Solid Minerals, Senator Samson Ekong, will lead a delegation to Nigeria State to investigate the recent collapse of a mining pit that claimed around 30 lives, emphasized that illegal and unregulated mining operations are major obstacles to realizing the multi-billion-dollar potential of Nigeria's minerals sector. He, however, stated that the Senate remains committed to creating legislative solutions to support the growth and safety of Nigeria's mining industry. The Niger State Governor, Muhammadu Umaru Bago, in its response to the committee's visit, expressed the state's readiness to work with the National Assembly to enact laws that will reform the mining sector, benefiting all stakeholders. The Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has discharged and acquitted the former Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onnoghen, of the charge that led to his removal from office in 2019. Recall that the former President Muhammadu Buhari had suspended Onnoghen from office as a CJN and sworn in the new most senior juries of the Supreme Court, Justice Tanko Mohammed. Onnoghen's suspension came barely 8 hours after he announced his decision to inaugurate judges who will preside over election petition tribunals and was later convicted by the Code of Conduct Tribunal on the 6-count corruption charge that was preferred against him by the federal government. In the meantime, 6 years after his conviction, a 3-man panel of the Court of Appeal led by Justice Mohammed Bello acquitted that ex-CJN following a resettlement agreement the federal government entered with him. President Tinubu had told the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fahimi, persuaded the appellate court to hold further hearing of 3 separate appeals this former CJN filed to challenge his removal, conviction, and seizure of his assets. As the November 16 gubernatorial election in Ondo State draws closer, members of the Ebira community in the state have endorsed Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa as their preferred candidate. Governor Usman Ododo of Kogi State, who led the gathering of Ebira indigents in Awards, spoke passionately on behalf of the community, drumming support for Governor Aiyedatiwa. Kikalo Makere completes the report.
It is a carnival-like atmosphere at our community as the campaign tour of Governor Lucky Orimisan Aiyedatiwa, candidate of All Progressive Congress, touched the campaign ground. Kogi State Governor Usman Ododo says the entire Ebira community across Ondo State have resolved to support and vote for All Progressive Congress in the coming election in the state.
We all know him. He has been tested and can be trusted. We want continuity. We want consolidation. And he has started very, very well. My brother, I want to tell you that the Ebira community, the Igala community, and the Oku community in Ondo State, they are 100% behind you.
In his response, Governor Aiyedatiwa expressed gratitude for the community's support and praised President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's commitment to Ondo State economic development. He also commended Governor Ododo for his exemplary leadership. Reflecting on the APC primary election in Ondo State, which Governor Ododo chaired, Governor Aiyedatiwa expressed confidence in a fair and transparent electoral process in November 16th.
Let me also tell you, Alhaji Usman, that even before Mr. President became the president of this country about 2 years ago, he has always shown interest in the political and economic development of Ondo State. At every governorship election since I met him in 2012, he has always been interested in who becomes the governor of Ondo State, so that he can contribute and give his support to the economic development of the state.
The Deputy Governor of Ondo State, Dr. Olaide Adelami, whose local government hosted the rally, thanked Governor Ododo for his love for Aiyedatiwa and the APC. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has assured residents of Akoko North East that if elected, his administration will redouble efforts to prioritize the welfare of every citizen in Ondo State. The governor, alongside his deputy and running mate, Dr. Olaide Adelami, made this known when they visited Akoko North East local government area of the state. Kikalo Makere with the rest of the story.
It is a moment of jubilation and excitement in Iborokpa, Akonu, and Ekare Akoko Northeast as the campaign tour of Governor Lucky Orimisan Aiyedatiwa, candidate of All Progressive Congress in November 16 governorship election in Ondo State, touched Akoko Northeast local government. At Ikare Akoko, headquarters of the local government, Governor Aiyedatiwa received royal blessings from Olukare of Ikare, Oba Kadri Momo, and the Owa Ale of Ikare, Oba Adeleke Adedoyin. His Royal Highness Olukare of Ikare, Oba Kadri Momo, appeals to the governor to help in curbing the menace of kidnapping and insecurity in the region.
In this terrain, I want to crave your indulgence to chronicle few of our challenges. We have said them before and we will not be tired of repeating them. Mr. Governor, this is not the first time you are coming to us. In the extreme buffer point there, making Kogi, we have the greatest challenge there is kidnapping. Insecurity, and mostly there are people coming from Abuja or from other axes from the east through Kogi. Usually they are kidnapped. The people look around, they are just by the military and police checking points. Kidnappers look around there to cause mayhem, and we'll be happy if you can look into that aspect.
Governor Aiyedatiwa highlighted the overwhelming support from the communities as a testament to the positive impact his administration has made in Ondo State. Governor Aiyedatiwa expressed gratitude for the warm reception and royal blessings. The governor assures that the request made by the royal fathers will be granted and incorporated into the 2025 budget, stressing the government's responsibility to ensure equitable development across the state.
Same language. It is a case of all of them, as if they have discussed, they have agreed with one mind that the election, the governorship election for November 16, 2024, the votes will be given to my party, APC. That is the voice of the traditional rulers, the voice of the chiefs, the voice of the women and all the youth.
During the tour, Honorable Stephen Olamija, a former House of Representative member for Akoko North-East, North-West Federal Constituency, Lekon Bada, former chairman Akoko North-East and candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the last House of Reps by election in the constituency, and another notable PDP leader, Momo Mufu, also known as Akmongon, defected to APC and were received into the party by the governor. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
Our National Orientation Agency has concluded plans to commence the nationwide birth registration social mobilization drive. The NOA Director General, Malam Larry Saad, represented by the Director of Special Duties and State Operations, David Akoji, said the agency is focused on registering children aged 0 to 5 years and providing them with a national identification number free of charge. He stressed that the NOA, in a partnership with the National Population Commission and UNICEF, is launching a nationwide birth registration social mobilization drive aimed at ensuring every child in Nigeria has access to essential services like education, healthcare, social protection. He noted that the agency is focusing on registering all children 0 to 5 years and providing them with NIN free of charge. Ahead of the 2027 general election, youths from the 19 states converge on Kaduna for a summit, the Northern Youth Summit organized by the National Youth Alliance, with an outcome unanimously pushing for a new Nigeria. Speakers at the summit spoke on the need to be united on a formidable front and support the young individual who will occupy the exalted position of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria come 2027, as they blame the country's economic woes and lack of ideas for moving forward. In an interview with the newsman, the AYA President Aliyu lamented that Nigeria's present political leadership is out of tune with citizens' hardships, noting that Alliance is a movement that aims to bring a new Nigeria that will work for all. You're watching the News Express live on Global TV. We are from the nation's capital. When News Express returns, Finance Minister Wale Edun says Nigeria's economy on a new investment threshold. We'll bring details of these as well as foreign and sports stories after this break. Please stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us, and now let's get to business. The Dangote Group has, in response to recent criticism from Petroleum Industry Association, defended the pricing and quality of the premium motor spirit supplied by its refinery. The group, in a statement by its Chief Branding and Communications Officer Anthony Chejina, addressed claims made by the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria and the Petroleum Retail Outlet Owners Association of Nigeria, which suggested that imported PMS could be sold at a cheaper rate than what Dangote offers. He argued that such claims are misleading, potentially involving substandard products that could harm consumers and vehicles alike, maintaining that its products are more competitively priced than the imported alternatives. While highlighting its commitment to affordable pricing, he revealed that it set a PMS price lower than the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation's post-deregulation benchmark. Chejini noted that Dangote supplies PMS at 960 naira per litre for chips and 990 naira for trucks, in comparison to NNPC's prices of 971 naira and 990 naira respectively. And our electricity consumers in the Federal Capital Territory on Band A have appealed to the federal government to lower the high tariff amid the economic hardship. Band A customers are those who enjoyed at least 20 hours of electricity daily and are expected to pay 209.5 naira per kilowatt. The consumers who live at Lube, Ereten, Apo Resettlement and the environs, speaking to newsmen, said the Band A was okay, but they were enjoyed constant power supply, but added that the tariff was too high and so could not cope with the present situation. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, has said that Nigeria's economy is now at a new down of the treasury to attract investment. The minister, speaking while welcoming the Minister of State for Finance, Dr. Doris Ozoganetu, who assumed office at the ministry in Abuja, said the two reforms, which are the removal of fuel subsidy and the market-determined foreign exchange rate, had opened the Nigerian economy to investors. According to the minister, all will be well as the ministry moves forward together to help in the completion of the ongoing economic reforms, which are showing sustainability and signs of success. At out to foreign scene, an Iranian Revolutionary Guards general and the pilots were killed in a helicopter crash during an anti-terror operation in the country's restive southeast. The state media report say that the ultralight Aguilar plane of the Islamic Revolution Guard had accident while conducting combat operation in a border area. It said the crash happened in Sukan, a city in the Sistan province, and identified that dead as General Hamid, the commander of the brigade of the Golston province, and the Jandagi pilot of the IRGC ground forces. And now Iran's foreign ministry spokesman has criticized what he called the United States destabilizing presence after the deployment of B-52 bombers in the region. The Bangladesh, speaking to newsmen conference in response to a question about the deployment, Iran have always believed that the presence of America in the region is destabilizing presence, adding that it will not deter its resolve to defend itself. The United States military announced the deployment of B-52 bombers to the Middle East as a warning to Iran, which has vowed to respond to Israeli strikes on its military site on October 26. Our Spanish rescuers are focusing their search for missing people on the ground garage and the multi-story car park following the last week devastating floods in Valencia. Now it is feared shoppers and workers were trapped inside the car park at the shopping mall in Aldia on the outskirts of Valencia as floodwater in the area. Police have confirmed that no victims were located in the first 50 vehicles inspected at the site, but reports suggest these vehicles were found near the entrance of the car park and much of the rest of it still submerged and yet to be explored. Israel has said that it had formally notified the United Nations of its decision to sever ties with the agencies supporting Palestinian refugees. The United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestinian Refugees, after lawmakers voted to ban the organization. The Foreign Ministry said in a statement that on the instruction of the Foreign Ministries, or the Ministry of Foreign Affairs notified the UN of the cancellation of agreement between the State of Israel and Israel's parliament last month approved the operations in Israel's unoccupied East Jerusalem despite condemnation from the international community, including its ally, the United States. On sports, following the verdict delivered by the Confederation of African Football in response to the complaints lodged by the Nigeria Football Federation over the recent inhuman treatment meted out to the Super Eagles in Libya, members of the Nigerian community have reported mass arrests and fines in the country. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has reaffirmed the government's commitment to protecting its citizens in Libya. The ministry, in a statement signed by the spokesperson Eche Abuobe, confirmed that Nigerians in Libya are safe and going about their daily activities without interference. A ministerial committee established by former Sport Minister John Eno has uncovered serious administrative failings that contributed to Team Nigeria's poor showing at the Paris 2024 Olympics. The committee, led by Dr. Momi Halio, recommended a $5,000 compensation for Nigerian spin star Favour Ofili. According to the committee findings, the fee should be paid by the event as a consequence for its negligence. Reports say the committee had submitted its report with a recommendation likely being one of the first tasks for the Cheryl Avikole National Sport Commission to address. Ofili, who qualified for the 100 meters event of Paris 2024, was denied the chance to race in the event at the Games because her name was omitted from Nigeria's official entry list. Arsenal sporting director Edo Gaspari is said to leave the club amid the interest from the Amarenkis group of clubs, including the Nottingham Forest and the Rio Ave. According to report, the Brazilians will play a pivotal role in reshaping Arsenal's transfer strategies on the field identity since 2019 is expected to take on a new challenge with the Amarenkis multi-club network. The former Gunners midfielder with potential expansion plans for fourth European club has been responsible for the signings of Martin Odegaard and Declan Rice, while he helped offload the likes of the Perrick and Mesut Ozil. And now, as to wrap up the News Express, here's a quick look at the top stories. President Tinubu has sworn in 7 new ministers. On the business, Finance Minister Wale Durun has said that Nigeria's economy is on a new investment threshold. On the first scene, Spain, rescuers search underground parking as fresh flooding hits Barcelona. On the sports, Ministerial Committee has recommended compensation for Favour Ofili as it inducts top officials of the Athletics Federation of Nigeria. And as a package of News Express, we are reminding you that we are on DSTV channel 365 and Start Time channel 276 are free to our NECOMSAT. Kindly follow us on all our social media platforms using as Global TV, NG, and all the handles now shown on the screen. I am Edika Michael. Thanks for watching. See you again.